Oklahoma Supreme Court Justice recently overturned their rule stating that charter schools cannot be considered public schools and have taxpayer dollars if they're going to discriminate admission to students based on their religion, their disabilities, their student disciplinary actions from previous schools, or their sexuality. So they overturned that decision and said no, that the school cannot open if those are the guidelines that they're going to be, and that it cannot be considered a public school is going to be considered a private charter school, and that's not what that school wanted. So the school did not open nonetheless. I think that that is great because it does continue to give us some type of democracy and individuality with all of the students. And I think the staff, and I think that we have a good constitution, and our policies also, our policies, rights, guidelines, district policies, state policies, all these things are put in place, and they allow us to make these decisions to allow students and employees to continue to be individuals and have specific rights to be themselves and have that democracy and that individualism while they're on campus expressing their religion. I think that it also strengthens our ethical behavior because it allows us a way to act and how to make these informed decisions. And it also encourages other students and employees to be more receptive and more in tune with the diversity in our nation. As far as religion, as far as ethnicity, as far as disabilities and things like that. We are a big melting pot, and I think that this is something that's important that we need to have. People need to be able to continue to express themselves appropriately. I think that it also promotes human flourishing as well. I think these guidelines, these rights, these policies, these laws do a great job of that. Again, it just contributes to the knowledge that we have with different ethnicities, and religions. And it just contributes to our knowledge, and it builds a sense of respect among different people in the school community, which then translates into the world, and it allows us to have functioning students and adults in our society. And so I think this was a great decision. I think that they did the right thing coming back to overturn it and really just looking at those statutes between a private school and a public school, and adhering to those. And I think it says a lot about our country and the Oklahoma Supreme Court Justice being confident enough to face the public and reverse their decision after looking at all of these policies and guidelines. So I think it says a lot about them. I think it says a lot about the state of Oklahoma. And I think that it does teach us how to act morally and ethically when following these rules and these guidelines. And I think that that is something that every administrator has to be aware of. People in our country have to be aware of. And if we're ever faced with this decision again, I think that the action steps that they took are appropriate. And I would want to mimic those same action steps that they took. Going back and looking at the different policies and guidelines to make an informed decision. And so I think that all of those things play an important role on quality education, on ensuring academic success, promoting and increasing your educational career and experience. And I think that all of this is very, very important. And administrators have to be on this type of level if they are going to be effective when it comes to a situation that is about religious expression on their campus.